challenge the golden egg without having a replacement in hand. I am Bibire Ikma from Government Girls Secondary School Dukpa, and here with me are
Ibe Deborah.
I delegate right.
We are here to oppose the motion which states Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Let me explain the terms oil exploration and renewable energy. Oil exploration is the exploitation of oil resources from source with the use of machineries, while renewable energy is a natural energy like the wind and solar energy, and if they are acquired, they can be used continually for future purposes. If Nigeria is going to stop oil exploration today, Nigeria is going to face a lot of severe economic consequences. Here are some points to consider. 1. Loss of investment. A lot of people are investing in the oil industry within and outside the country, but if oil exploration is suddenly stopped in Nigeria today, investors will lose their confidence and they will decrease gradually. Would any investor trust a country that abandons its most profitable business without a backup? 2. Economic collapse. A lot of percentage in Nigeria's economy depends a lot on oil exploration, but if an abrupt end is put to oil exploration, the Nigerian economy is surely going to collapse. 3. Energy capability. Oil exploration is infused with enough energy to comprehend the population of Nigerians, but this is what renewable energy is not capable of doing. 4. Lack of infrastructure, skill, and resources. Nigeria does not have enough infrastructure, skill, and resources to power renewable energy, but oil exploration has enough infrastructure, skill, and resources to power the growth and economy of Nigeria. Oil exploration is stable, it is reliable, and is already established in Nigeria, but renewable energy is still a new innovation which the future is not yet sure of. What will happen if the tap that funds education, healthcare, and infrastructure suddenly runs dry? Makuban says, and I quote, "A small leak can sink a great ship. Let Nigeria not build a castle in the air by stopping oil exploration."
Can you ask a man to stop breathing and fresh air is coming tomorrow? Absolutely not. Some of the consequences of stopping oil exploration include the following among others. 1. Revenue loss. The oil exports are a significant source of revenue to the Nigerian government. Stopping oil exploration will lead to a substantial loss of income, impacting the country's ability to fund public services and infrastructure projects. Furthermore, it could lead to job losses. The oil industry employs thousands of Nigerians both directly and indirectly. Ending the oil exploration will lead to a widespread job loss, unemployment, exacerbating and economic instability. What will happen to the millions of Nigerians who earn a living from the oil industry? Will the solar panels replace their salaries overnight?
If oil exploration stops today, how will Nigeria fund its national budget tomorrow? Now let's begin with economic diversity. Early Nigeria's economy relies heavily on oil exploration, which accounts for significant revenue portion of government revenue. So stopping oil exploration might lead to substantial economic challenges and job losses. Industries like agriculture, tech, and manufacturing need time and investment to become strong alternatives. Relying on renewables alone without strong base is very risky. Furthermore, policy reforms are also vital with an unstable political climate. Nigeria faces the difficulty to implement situations in the development of renewable energy shortages, and economic stability of alternatives are not developed. In conclusion, countries like the United States, Saudi Arabia, and Russia continue oil exploration while investing in renewables. So why should Nigeria rush to abandon it?
With these vital points we have strongly established before you, fellow Nigerians, we have been able to convince you beyond reasonable doubt that Nigeria must not put a stop to oil exploration.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria's reliance on oil exploration has been a bane to our economy and environment. For decades, we've witnessed the devastating impact of oil spills, pollution, and climate change. Now it's time to rethink our energy strategy and give renewable energy a try. Without further ado, I'd like to give honor to whom honor is due. The Honorable Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my respected audience. Standing before you today is Orator Osman Favor Chiduma, a proud representative of School for the Gifted Gwagwalada senior category. Here to give facts as answers to the disturbing question, should Nigeria stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy? This House believes that Nigeria should stop, with the following points to back up my claim. But before diving into my points, I would like to shed some light on the following key terms. Renewable energy can be defined as energy gotten from natural resources that can be replenished over time, while oil exploration can be defined as the process of discovering and searching for new oil reserves or deposits. Now to my point, environmental degradation. For many years, the host communities have suffered due to the fact that Nigeria has overlooked them and paid attention only to the amount of oil they produce per day. A 2008 report by the Nigerian Oil Spill Monitor confirmed the devastating impact of the oil spill, which released over 4,000 barrels of crude oil into the environment in Ogini land. Also, data from the Nigerian Oil Spill Monitor revealing over 1,300 oil spill incidents between 2019 and 2023, affecting thousands of hectares of farmland, water bodies, and forests. Statistics also shows that between 1976 and 1996, an estimated 1.89 barrels of crude oil were released into the environment in the Niger Delta region. These references provide a solid foundation in understanding the effects on the devastating impact of oil exploration in Nigeria. More reasons why oil exploration must be stopped is because of its economic effects. Oil as a source of national revenue has become unstable due to the fact that all other countries are transitioning into the use of renewable energy, making it unstable for revenue generation, project financing, and other financial needs of the country. And also its lack of investment in human capital leads to lack of skilled workers and entrepreneurs in other sectors. And also Dutch disease, which is an economic phenomenon, which means that a raise or boost in another sector leads to a decline in another sector. And that is the present state of Nigerian economy. In addition, Nigeria shouldn't put all eggs in one basket. In the sense that Nigeria heavy dependence on oil and against other sectors leads to global fluctuation in oil prices. It makes it vulnerable. It's true that oil drives the economy big time, but how do we survive before the oil boom? Talk of the granite pyramid of the north, the cocoa of the west, and the palm fruit of the east. Malaysia is high on palm oil today. It's one thing that they got their seedlings from Nigeria. According to research, Nigeria was the world's largest oil palm producers until the 70s when Malaysians visited Nigeria and took oil palm seedlings from them, leading them to be the head of the oil palm market. But it's not too late for Nigeria to gain a stand in the global market with our renewable energies like biodiesel, which can be gotten from vegetables, primarily used for transportation, in most cases electricity generation, and most importantly, for hospital cleanup. Cleaning up the mess caused by oil exploration. Now let me ask you this question. There are no benefits of oil exploration from the economic boost to the employment that renewable energy cannot cater for. But permit me to leave you my audience with this question. Renewable energy ensures a healthy, clean, and just economy. But have oil exploration so far ensured us a clean, healthy, or just economy? Renewable energy destroys our economy. Renewable energy destroys our economy. Oil exploration destroys our economy, but renewable energy helps diversify our economy. The choice is yours, but let's remember the words of our Nigerian poets and activists. The environment is man's first right. We must save it or we'll perish. Let's choose sustainability, let's choose life. The future is waiting. Thank you.
Nigeria is a blessed country with numerous resources. During the famous toxic and overrated liquid gold referred to as crude oil, for many years has been a reliable source of revenue for Nigeria. But the argument on if Nigeria to continue to indulge in oil exploration is still ongoing to this present day. Using this as a reference point, permit me to stand by the existing protocols. I am my name is Joseph, representative of school for the GGSS senior category, here to shed some light in accord as what my chief speaker had said in support of the motion that Nigeria should quit oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. That being said, I hope with these points of mine, I will be able to convince you any reasonable doubt that truly there is a dire need for Nigeria to quit oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Firstly, in the case of eco-friendliness, throughout the several decades of Nigeria's continuous indulgence in oil exploration, one can easily notice the environmental devastation that is going to allow in the south-south, especially the Niger Delta region, ranging from oil spills, which cause pollution of land, air, and water, down to infrastructural development, which bring about habitat encroachment, wildlife recruitment, and loss of biodiversity. These are the environmental risks posed by oil exploration in our land, which further encourages us to turn to renewable energy as the way forward. Sources of renewable energy such as air, sunlight, and water are found to have close to zero air pollutants and no environmental damage whatsoever, which thus encourages us to focus more on it. Going further, climate change is also put into consideration. Climate change can simply be referred to as drastic weather shifts or change of temperatures in certain regions or areas. That being said, the activities of oil exploration contribute largely to its development. According to research, over 75% of all carbon dioxide emissions as a result of the activities of oil exploration, and over 95% of all greenhouse gas emissions also as the use of fossil fuels. This shows the environmental devastation that oil exploration poses on our environment, which further encourages us to turn to renewable energy. Sources of renewable energy such as air, water, and solar, like I mentioned earlier, are found to have close to zero greenhouse gas emissions, which are proof is
Standing by all existing protocol, I am by name Ian Precious, a representative of School for the Gifted Gwagwalada senior category, here to bring not only points but facts on why we ought to put a stop to oil exploration and put our trust in renewable energy. Now, it is no longer news that oil exploration has affected our country in the following ways. Firstly, the refining of crude oil involves a series of production processes which releases the harmful gases into the atmosphere, thereby causing the depletion of the ozone layer, respiratory tract illnesses, and acid rain which destroys our crops and buildings. In 2022, our Minister of Health shows the staggering statistics about over 100,000 people die each and every year with respiratory tract illnesses such as lung cancer and the likes. Now, instead of providing a list for basic social amenities, don't think that oil exploration rather destroys the lives of people in society. Moving onward, the toxic waste called crude oil is somehow enticing for criminals to to go to the extent of smuggling oil barrels and selling them at black markets. Just to show you how instead of creating a means for providing funds for security, oil exploration rather creates an avenue for increase in crime rates. Moving on, furthermore, the discovery of new sites for crude oil involves the clearing of forests, which is the elimination of wildlife and desertification of soil. Now, using oil exploration provides strength of ought to protect, and this is not how I am going to stand for this lifestyle. Just as my fellow speakers have said, other advanced countries have dropped crude oil to the dust and are using renewable energy. Not only our advanced countries, but even our fellow African countries such as Malawi, all thanks to the man named Kwamba, an engineer who at the age of 13 saved his village from hunger with the use of green energy, a form of renewable energy. Now, in conclusion, crude oil being non-renewable will eventually run out, and when it does, what will be our next point of action? Is to use other sources of revenue that have been neglected for over the decades, but use renewable energy that has never get exhausted. With these points of mine, I hope I've not been able to convince you but prove to you on why we ought to say no to crude oil and yes to renewable energy. Thank you.
Standing by the already existing protocol, yet to cross all T's and dot all I's, is I already also referred to the Monsieur. A representative was for the gifted Gwagwalada senior category. Here to speak a favor of the topic, should Nigeria stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy? These are all the things that Nigeria should stop. And I'm here to add that Nigeria, would you rather give your money or pay in exchange for harm to your environment, when you can just enjoy the free gift of Mother Nature, the scorching sun from the north, the wind from the south, the air that you breathe, the vegetables, and more. Let's leave oil exploration and move on to sustainability. Let's leave the dirty energy in the soil and move on to sustainability. Oil exploration only leads to an handicapped economy, while renewable energy helps us diversify our economy. Oil exploration can be exhausted, but renewable energy cannot be exhausted. With this, I hope we not only clear the ground, but also make breaches of understanding, proving that oil exploration must be stopped and renewable energy must continue. With this, I rest my case. Thank you.